welcome back, guys. So today the plan is lower body. I'm gonna do power cleans, some back squats, some broad jumps, depth broad jumps, and regular broad jumps, and some hamstring curls. Today with the plan for the power cleans is I got 2 giant sets of 6 reps. So the first set of 6 reps is gonna be anywhere between 315 and 335. 6 total reps there. I can do doubles. I can do a triple if I want, but just 6 total reps in that weight range. Then I'm going to increase the weight a little bit and do another giant set of 6 reps. I just want to move the bar well. I got my OVR attached to it. For anyone who is unaware, I have a discount link with OVR for the VBT device, the speed gates, and the jump system. So that link is in the description of this video. So check it out if you're looking to get some sort of velocity-based training device or speed gates or jump system. Hit that link in the description below. But yeah, so power clean, some back squats, some hamstring work, and some jumping today. So I'll start with my first rep here at 315. If the weight feels really good and the OVR says it's moving really well, I'm going to increase in weight. Get my first giant set of 6, move up in weight, do my second giant set of 6, and have a good day of training. Peak velocity of 2.0 and at 2.09 there. I got 2 more reps here at 315. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit a single. I'm just gonna cluster it. So instead of doing a double, I'm gonna do a single, rest like 20 to 30 seconds, hit another single, see if I can keep that speed above 2.0. .16 there. Man, it feels so much faster. I guess it's just confirming that your body lies to you sometimes, in a good way and a bad way. Sometimes you feel like shit, but you move it well. Sometimes you feel great, but you're not moving as fast. I think I've moved 315 at like 2.52 meters per second before. I think that's my best, or 2.53 maybe. But as long as I'm above 2.0, I'm pretty happy. 2.16 again. All right, I'm gonna go to 335. What are some of your recommended alternatives to horizontal pressing for someone with shoulder issues? I can't bench for a while due to some gnarly supraspinatus impingement and rotator cuff problems. Good question. So it's kind of hard to give you like a specific answer if I don't know exactly like what positions, what loads, what angles are like causing, what exercises specifically are causing pain for you. As kind of a general default answer, a lot of people like to go with like close grip variations of pressing. That seems to put their shoulder in a more tolerable position, for lack of a better term. Close grip pressing, go like neutral grip pressing. So if you have a Swiss bar or a football bar, use that neutral grip handle. You could just shorten the range of motion, do board pressing. That's what I have one of my clients doing right now who's like 6 weeks post-operation for a shoulder surgery. We're doing a lot of board pressing. We're doing some dynamic overcoming isometrics at tolerable positions for him. But yeah, I think dips is a great option for a lot of people. Close grip, board pressing, that kind of stuff. So neutral grip, dumbbell pressing if you don't have a football bar. Really, you just got to kind of play around with like certain variations that you find tolerable, and then just ride that wave until you are better to do your normal bench pressing. Kind of an ugly catch, but I actually moved it well. 2.11 meters per second there. I'm just going to take a really short break and hit it again. That was shitty, but I moved at 1.98, so it's like, it's not at that 2.0 meters per second, so I'm gonna stay here for another rep. All right, I've done 2 reps, so I got 4 total reps left here. Hopefully I move this next one really well, because I do want to add some weight. Wow. 2.11 on the velocity, but it was so far forward, I didn't even complete a successful rep. I didn't catch it. I gotta stay here. This is just brutal today. So, comment about VBT. I get questions all the time about how do I implement VBT, what's the right way to use it, how do you get started with it, and I made a video about like implementing VBT with youth athletes about a week ago. I think I've talked about before how you use it as a way to gauge reps in reserve, but also for something like this, it is a governor. It is a governor for your weight. You're gonna have people on different sides of the spectrum. People that want to push themselves too hard, that's me, and people who don't really want to push themselves that hard. But I'm assuming if you're watching like YouTube fitness, you're kind of on the side that wants to push themselves too hard, too often, too frequently, do too much work to the point that you can't really recover, and it does hinder your progress. That's my personality. But like right now, I'm using it as a governor, so I don't put too much weight on the bar because I'm going to be testing my sprints, my jumps in a couple of weeks at the end of this combine program. I need to make sure I'm just kind of getting that minimum effective stimulus to ensure that I don't at least lose strength and explosive capability, so that when I test in a couple of weeks, I've maintained my strength and I'm fresh enough that I can perform at a level that I want to perform at. So like, it's just really good as a governor, capping the weight that you're going to use for something like this. Like I know if I put 355 on the bar, I know I can complete a rep, but I need to get 3 more quality reps, and I want to get those 3 quality reps. I don't want to have 1 iffy quality rep and then 2 shitty reps after. So just a thought there. 2.15 meters per second. That last rep, even though the catch was kind of shitty, I pulled at 41.5 inches, which is, I pulled 315, 42.7 inches, but most of those are like 40.8, 41.0. So I pulled that one with 20 pounds heavier at 41.5 inches. So I put quite a bit of power and oomph into that rep, which is good. What I'm looking for. Okay, really got to lock in for this next rep here. That was a great rep. 2.16 meters per second there. I have another thought on VBT for the Olympic lifts, as far as like implementing it with people who aren't proficient at the lifts, just like your typical high school athlete, college athlete who they're good enough where they're going to get a quality stimulus out of it, like their technique is good enough. But when you start adding, so the VBT, the Olympic lifts operate in a velocity-based training, like speed governor type of way without the VBT device anyways, because if you catch the bar high enough in a power clean or a power snatch, you know you at least moved it at like the minimum velocity necessary to get the bar up. So for someone who's like maybe not disciplined with their technique, someone who's not like as proficient as you want with their technique, adding a VBT device in for someone with the Olympic lifts is probably not a very good idea, because they might change their technique, because instead of thinking about hitting certain positions, having correct bar path, getting the right brush point, all of the technical aspects of the clean, they might be thinking about just trying to move the bar fast, and now they're brushing the bar lower on their thigh. Maybe they're just ripping, their hips are rising off the floor too much. So with like, depending on the demographic, VBT for Olympic lifts may or may not be an effective implementation for them. So just another thing to think about, I guess, if you're a coach working with teams. You might be better off just using VBT for other exercises other than the Olympic lifts. And I've seen it firsthand when I was working at UND as a strength and conditioning coach with football guys trying to clean, and they're told they need to move it 2.0 meters per second. I'm just making up that speed, and then their technique goes to shit, because instead of thinking about good first pull, crossing the knee, getting vertical at the right spot, popping the bar up off the top of their thigh, getting in a good rack position, now they're just thinking, shit, I have to move the bar as fast as I can if I want to use the weight that I want to use. And it just, the whole like continuity of the exercise goes to shit. Awesome, 2.1 meters per second there. So I'm really starting to feel good now, but I got to cut it off because I got to get to my jumping and my squatting, and I want to keep my legs fresh. Moving on to depth broad jumps and just regular broad jumps. So I'm contrasting these two or pairing them up together. I just got my warm-up sets done. I'm going to do 5 sets of 2 each. So it's a total of 20 jumps, 10 normal broad jumps, 10 depth broad jumps. When I do the depth broad jumps here, my goal is to limit the ground contact time, because when I do my normal broad jumps, I have the time to develop with the counter movement. I have the time to develop a lot more force and power because of the counter movement. So I'm just kind of contrasting those two styles of execution with the jump. I realized I was kind of out of the frame with where my camera was, so I moved it back a little bit. Getting my warm-up sets on squats in between these reps of the jumps. So with the squats, that's coming up next, my goal is to move it at about 0.45. So again, going back to the VBT, 0.45 for a single. I'm going to do 3 singles there. I have 515 on the bar, so this is going to be my first single here. Yeah, the goal is 0.45 meters per second. That's average velocity. And the goal with that, again, it's a governor. So it's trying to get the stimulus that's kind of that minimum effective dose in order to maintain leg strength but not create too much fatigue that's going to hinder my performance when I sprint in a couple of days or when I do my other athletic activities that I care about more a little bit right now. All right, I was wrong about my first set coming up, my first single. I said 515, but it's actually 505. So again, 0.45 meters per second is my goal on this one single. 0.53, so I'm going to go up to 515 next. What do I think is the best exercise to get a strong upper back? Conventional deadlift or Zercher deadlift? I think they're both good. I guess I'm going to go with conventional deadlift just because you're holding the bar, so it's in your hands. I understand the argument for a Zercher deadlift. I guess like initially off the floor, I think a Zercher deadlift is probably going to be a little bit more potent for your upper back. But yeah, I'm going to go with conventional deadlift overall. Hey Will, I'm running Haas 2.0 and I'm new to the concept of density sets. With what weight I am using for squats, I can only hit 3 reps at a time before resting. Feels like an RPE 9.5. Is there ever a point where you would suggest a lighter weight to hit 4 or 5 reps at the start? Or is it better to keep it heavy and do sets of 3 and 2? I got 18 total reps within the time. 18 total reps is a good, that's a good number to get in the time frame that I provide in Haas 2.0. I have the instructions in there, so check the instructions. But typically when I'm doing density sets, I like to keep my sets at cap them at 3 and take as little time as I need. Like usually if I do a set of 3, I can probably hit 4 or 5, maybe 6 reps within that little set, but I want to stay moving and accumulate as many quality reps as I can over time. So if I do a set of 5, I'm going to need to take 90 seconds, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes before I go again. I want to stay moving, so I like capping them at 3. So I think you're just fine. I think you're just fine with where you're at. If you get 18 reps, keep the weight exactly the same for the next session. Try to hit 20. If you get 20, keep the weight the same. Try to get 22 on the following week. So, yeah, I think you're good with where you're at. 0.51. Let's go up again. All right, I put on 530. Let's see how fast I can move this one. 0.5, good set. Let's back off and do a giant set. Okay, 455 on the bar, got a giant set of 10 to 12 reps. Six five, 6'5", 6'2". I can go up a little bit. I should go up a little bit. Yeah, I jumped up to 465 here. 0.59 on that second rep. I've done 8 total reps. I'm going to cap myself at 10, so I'm just going to do a double here, and then I'm going to move on to my hamstrings. Good reps to finish that off. 0.68, 0.64, moving it well. Legs are feeling good. Today's Saturday. I'm sprinting again on Monday, so my legs should be feeling pretty good to hit some fast times on Monday. Okay, for the hamstrings, I just got this, I don't know if it's called an alpha dog roller or just like a glute ham roller from Stray Dog. You can see it right here. I haven't used this on myself yet. I have used this for some of my clients, but if anyone needs like a solid roller, you can use this for like ab rollouts. You can use it for like reverse lunges where your back leg rolls back instead of steps back. Use it for hamstring curls, which is what I'm going to do now. Go to Stray Dog. I also got a link for them. For anything on Stray Dog is 10% off with my code WILL10. So going to do some hamstring curls with this right now. Going to try to keep my hips up the entire time. I don't have a specific rep number I'm going to hit. I'm just going to go till I feel like it's been a good stimulus for my hamstrings. All right. All right, so I hit a set of 10 there. I'm going to do 2 more sets here, guys. That's all I got for the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.